and I'll explain the whole 2-week taper process.
You can probably get away with almost just training through those. You want to get your body on that trajectory of repairing itself at a massive rate.
Morning, Trainiacs. I am feeling stupendous today. This is day 2 of taper process. I always want to say taper week, but it ain't taper week. It's a taper process because we're talking a 2-week process. Day 2 means that it's the second day completely off besides riding into the office. You know what, let me just get into the office and I'll explain the whole 2-week taper process. Why you should do it, when you should do it, who should do it, what races you should do it for, all that jazz. It's gonna be the smooth jazz today.
Good. Oh, so centered. It's gonna be a sit down. Bring you in just a little bit. So nice. A 2-week taper tends to be quite a big taper, and you don't need to do that for a lot of races, but in some cases, like when you're swimming for 10 hours straight, you might need to do as much of it as a 2-week taper. The times and instances and people who would need to do a 2-week taper are, if you're preparing for an Ironman, you might need 2 weeks. If you're a little bit older athlete, you might need 2 weeks. The older you are, the less testosterone you have, so your body can't repair itself quite so quick, so you might need a 2-week taper. If you're a little bit sick and you don't feel like your body is quite recovered enough and you're coming into a race, you might want a 2-week taper so that you give yourself a little bit of extra time to prepare. But in the case of, say, a sprint distance race, an Olympic distance triathlon, a half marathon, a 5K race, a 10K race, anything that's lasting, say, even 3 hours, 4 hours or less, 1 week is probably enough. I think I even got away with 10 days. Yeah, 10 days or so for a half-ironman. For your big key A race, your specific race that you're getting super duper pumped up for, 2 weeks is probably a good barometer. So let me tell you how to do those 2 weeks. Let's get you a nice juice. And we're gonna go from here. Okay, what we've got here is my typical training week. We've got blue for swimming, red for running, brown for biking. Over the course of a typical training week, Monday would be a decent sized swim, Tuesday would be a small swim and a short run. Wednesday would be a decent sized swim, like an hour and a half. One second. Mel's doing big business in there. Thursday would be about an hour and a half bike. Friday would be a huge swim. Saturday would be an endurance 2 to 3 hour bike. Sunday would be a 1.5 hour run. And then we'd repeat. In this case, what we've got is race day, 2 weeks away. This is Monday, yesterday, 13 days away. What you want to do with your taper process is you don't want to completely rest. You want to keep having activations to remind your body how to go fast, how to go through the motions and not just completely atrophy. But in none of these workouts leading up to a race do you want to finish that workout feeling tired. So what we do is we keep that same pace of working out, but we take the intensity way down and we add in just a couple of pops of effort, bringing that speed up, but not ever tiring ourselves out. So in the bikes, we take those 2 long bikes on the weekend and they go down to maybe an hour instead of 2.5 to 3 hours. The bike during the middle of the week that is normally filled with sprint sessions, I'm gonna have to lighten that up and make sure that I hold myself back. The run on the weekends, going from instead of an hour and a half, going like 15 to 20K, that's gonna all of a sudden go down to maybe 45 minutes. The run during the week is probably just gonna go completely out. And then the swims are all gonna be chopped down to about 30 to 45 minutes instead of an hour to an hour and a half or 3-4 hours. So they start getting knocked down quite a bit. And you can see that there aren't really even any pops of big workouts along the way. Within each of the workouts, there might be a couple of points
where you go a little bit hard. I'm gonna put an exclamation point on that one to show that I'm going hard. But that's only for a few seconds. You kind of keep that pace right up till race day. You do, however, also want to have some complete days off. When those days off happen are right at the start. Like yesterday and today, I've taken completely off, just biking into the office, because you want to start off a taper process by giving your body a complete chance to flush out all of the accumulated fatigue that has happened by training consistently day in, day out, ramping up the volume for the past 3 months. I think I've only had 1 day off over the last 3 months. You also want to have a complete rest day close to the race. Typically, that's about 2 days out. So about 2 days out from a race, I'll have a complete rest day. The day before a race, you want to activate all the muscles that are going to happen in your race. So if it's a triathlon, there's something called a 10-10-10 workout where you do a 10-minute bike, 10-minute run, 10-minute swim. That's a perfect pre-race day workout. In the case of the day before the long swim, I might just go for 10 or 20 minutes just to remind my arms of how to turn themselves over. So we did a video a couple of months ago, and the total amount of training time that I was putting in over the course of a week was somewhere around 17 hours. Over the course of the next 2 entire weeks, it's probably only going to be, so instead of a week comprising of 12 hours a week of working out and 5 hours a week commuting by bike, instead it's 17 hours over the course of 2 weeks, with 10 of those hours being commuting by bike and the remaining 7 just being very light activations. Now what the purpose of this is to do this. I'm trying to think about how to draw this. Let's say you're gradually increasing the amount of work that you do like that. What that's going to force your body to do is get on a trajectory of repairing itself kind of like that, just keeping up with it. What happens during this taper process is that you are all of a sudden making the work stop and basically stagnate, but your body keeps repairing itself at the previous level. And because your body is repairing it at the previous level, you end up with this huge amount of fitness that you build up because your body is repairing itself beyond what the workload is that you're giving it. What do you think? Make sense? I've tried to explain this a little bit before, and the premise, whether it's a swimming event, a triathlon, a sprint event, a marathon, it's all kind of the same thing. You want to get your body on that trajectory of repairing itself at a massive rate, and then as you get closer to the race, rest, so your body keeps repairing itself, but you're not working it too hard. Science, yo. Science, yo. Huh? Huh? Do I look more intelligent? Do I look smarter? Do I look more trustworthy? Huh? Huh? What do you think? Pretty close, pretty close. All right, Trainiacs, I'm getting back to my rest. Have a spectacular, science-y filled evening.